all I'm going to say is I would effing slay it as an interior designer. Slay it. Just kidding. This is terrible. Also didn't dawn on me that I could have just put the cards on the wall. I didn't need this extra piece of styrofoam that you see I've decorated. There's a reason for that. I'll show you maybe after. But today we're going to learn one of the most popular spreads in tarot, probably though one of the harder ones, or that's at least a little bit intimidating at first. So I would not start with this one, but I want to teach it to you because it'll sort of give you a better picture of everything. If I just started small, you know, why not go big or go home? So this is also a deck that you're going to have to practice a couple of times and maybe do some readings on your friends, or maybe just sit at home and really kind of acquaint yourself with the process and the cards, because there's a certain order to all these cards. And not only is there a certain order to all these cards, they all have a different position, a different meaning in what they're in. So the Celtic Cross is really a great spread for somebody who has a specific question, because it's going to allow you to go into detail and really examine a topic at length and in detail, versus just, you know, saying, all right, what do I need to know right now in life? Well, you could do that too, absolutely. But I feel like this, you could do that with other spreads, right? With this spread, this is really, it's wowing, because, I mean, first of all, like, not that it looks like a Celtic Cross. I mean, I did a sloppy job, but you get where I'm going. It looks cool, you know what I mean? There's a lot of mystery because you're not going to turn all the cards over at once, you know what I mean? So and it takes a little time to do. So it allows you time to invest in the querent. By the way, the querent is the correct. I know you just said the person coming to get the reading. So it allows you a little more time to invest in them. Now, if I'm going to do the reading for you today, and I'll do it, I just don't have a querent, right? So I'm sort of making up a story, and the universe isn't telling me anything because I'm not really doing a reading, right? So we're going to kind of go with whatever's on that card. We'll figure out a story coming from there. When you do this type of spread, you do not want to turn all of the cards over at once. Could you? You could, but I recommend against it for two reasons. One, if you're new, you're going to just get ahead of yourself, and it's going to be overwhelming. So staying one at a time will allow you to focus one at a time. Also, if you flipped every card over, where do you think the querent's mind is going to be focused? Anywhere but what you're saying. He's going to be looking at, you know, this up here, this down. It's just, you want them focused on the card that you're on, because everything is going to make sense, but it can't make sense unless you have their focus and attention. And there's mystery to be revealed, right? You always want to know what's next, right? That also reminds me, do not take too long on a card, because if you're over explaining it, they're going to be like, yeah, get to the next one. I want to see what happens on that next one. Well, I mean, you know, so just kind of, just keep that in mind. I should have put the numbers up here. I'm going to tell you there's an order that you're going to want to do. And so there's an order to the spread, right? There's not just willy-nilly thrown about here. So there is a specific order. And I'm going to start with 10 and work myself backwards, right? So we're missing a whole card. Oh, here it is. Guess that tape doesn't really work. Oops. Well, we already know that card. What the hell happened here? That's okay. Sorry. Please talk amongst yourselves while I fix the board. I mean, this shit doesn't happen on Wheel of Fortune. Which is also a tarot card. Ooh. Anyway, where was I? All right, so ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hard to see here, but this card here, I'm doing a room. See how this one is? It's the only card that's horizontal, and I'll get to what that card means. So anyway, you're not going to start reading from 10 back to 1. You're going to read from 1 to 10, but I'm just showing you the order just because it's easier. Here's that order one more time. We're going to read 1 to 10, but we're just showing you backwards how it is. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, that 2 is that horizontal card. All right. So now that you know the order, we're going to read them in order, because that's just the way you do it. So we're going to read 1 to 10. Why is that important? Because 1, which is this card here, represents the current situation. The current situation that is bringing the querent to you. Whatever is going on, the reason for the reading, right? So that's going to reveal a lot. It's going to reveal the current situation. Then we're going to get to the immediate challenges, right? It sounds so like horrible, right? But this is the thing that's like their challenge right now in front of them, like present day, right? And that's important because after that, you have the 3, right? So this is their aspiration and goals, what they really want, what they want is the outcome or what they're hoping to get, right? And then the 4 down here is going to be the root cause and the foundation. The root cause and the foundation can be of the problem. It could be, but it doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? Like if you're getting a good spread, what's the root cause of a good thing? Probably a good thing, right? Like, so it's okay. It doesn't have to be good or bad. Just this is the root cause. This is the foundation of where it all stems from, right? The whole problem, right? So after your root cause, and then you're going to go recent past, which is right next to here. What do you suppose is after recent past? Immediate future. Yeah, past, future. It would have been nice if they would have just gone this way because it made it easier, but no, they didn't. So recent past, immediate future. After immediate future, we're moving over to the other side of the board. And these are pretty straightforward going up here, and we're going to come to the final conclusion, right? So after the immediate future, we're going to go to internal influences, bottom here. That is the 7. External, did I say internal? Internal influences, external influences. External, oh, hopes and fears. Final outcome, right? So all of these things, notice how hopes and fears, you're reading this card for their hopes and their fears. You're reading this card over there for their immediate future or near future. You're reading this card here for their, so this card here for their aspirational goal. You're reading this one for immediate challenges. So you see how like each card has something specific. But that's pretty much the Celtic Cross. You want to read a little bit? I should have a special open here. Like this, time for the reading. Call me now if you're free reading. All right, so remember, position 1 is the current situation. 9 of Pentacles. Oh my God. All right, so this one's still covering it, but I need you to see that. So we're just going to kind of put this right here. All right, so what I say, we're going to flip the card and make a story about it. All right, it's going to be about money, obviously, because there's value of the Pentacles there. In this scenario, I'm going to have it where because this is kind of what, maybe I'm reading a little bit weird, but I'm going to have it where, like, if it was a male or a female coming to me, it doesn't matter, but their situation right now is money and sort of putting enough away for retirement, living that comfortable life that they want, being able to imagine the life that they want. And in this situation, it tells me that one or the other does a much better job and is more of a realistic viewpoint on money and a better relationship around money, while the other does not. And so that's where maybe a little bit of the conflict is, that they don't know how to save properly because one has a different way of spending and saving, and the other one has another way, right? So that's the current situation. The next card is the 2, which is the immediate challenge, right? This card, by the way, because it's horizontal, it's always going to read right side up. I mean, because there's no way you could tell if it was upside down or right side up. So just read it right side up. And in this case, I want you to talk, as we talked about, stupid tape, it won't stick to the styrofoam. As we talked about before, similarities between the cards, what do you notice immediately about these cards? They're the exact same colors, right? It's just that this is Pentacles and this is the 3 of Wands. In this position, where this is the immediate challenge, the challenge doesn't have to be bad, right? So the immediate challenge before them is telling you here, get to a place where you guys are learning some lessons, right? You've seen the errors of your ways if it comes to saving money, but you're starting to understand a little bit more. That's your immediate challenge, to get up to speed on some practices that will help you save better, any kind of movement around money that you make that is going to better your chances, and embarking on something brand new. This is a very positive card, the 3 of Wands, because it means you've done the work, you've done the homework, you've accepted the challenge, you've won, and now you're moving on, you're leveling up, right? So, and learning new skills to do it. In this particular sense, it's maybe one learned from the other a little bit, or they both came together to learn that perspective, and it's moving on. Now, after the immediate challenges, right, then you have your aspirations and goals, which are up here. Ooh, man, these guys can't catch a break. Also, who wears that? I mean, I don't know what they're spending their money on, but I mean, haven't they heard of Forever 21? Oh, all right. So their aspiration and goals, in this case here, the card would literally have you believe like they want to be miserable and be so ridden with anxiety and fear that they're just... So all this card is saying in this position around the aspiration and goals is they're not aligned. So if you're not aligned on your goals and you're not aligned on the mission and you're not aligned on the finances and where to go, you can't get to a goal because there's two of you. One of you is going to be doing one thing and one is going to be doing the other. It's not going to work out. All this card is saying is, in this position, is that you need to get aligned on the goal. So it's okay. What it's probably really saying here is that you're probably taking a few steps and missteps and you didn't quite hit the mark. So it also could mean here, realign your goal, make your goal more realistic. This one's not realistic for some reason. So does that make sense? All right. Again, this is a fake reading for a fake querent. So after your aspirations and goals, now this is the root cause and the foundation of everything. Again, this does not have to be negative. It could be, if that's what the card reads, but it could be positive as well. We'll find out. Interesting. So the Two of Wands, I'm trying to find tape because it's just, holly hobby over here. All right, so it's the Two of Wands, also a very good picture. So this tells me, it's an interesting twist, I think, in this spread, if I were doing the spread for them. And I want you to notice that you've got a lot of wands, pentacle, right? So this card here is about, sort of like this one, new beginnings, new perspective, new foundations, which is also interesting because the foundations where it sits in the thing. But it also tells me that this was once rooted in where it's almost like a blank slate, but you've got everything going for you. Your hopes around finances, all this problem with money was rooted in something good to start, the well-intentioned. But somehow it got misaligned because we're looking up there, right? So just be cognizant of that. So something went wrong. Anytime a card has like you start with something good like that, there is potential to turn it around. That's part of your job as a reader, where you're not just painting the negative picture, you can also tell them how to turn things around, right? We're going to get to that because we want to see what some of the other cards reveal, but that is something you can do. So the foundation, it started out good. Something happened though along the way, and that might have just been like two minds going in different directions or something shiny coming along, and you get sloppy in your practices, and so that's where it's all going. Now, after the root and cause and foundation, we're going to the recent past. We're going to back up a little bit. Do you remember which one's the recent past? So this one's the recent past. And again, recent past. We're not going all the way back. This is like, is it yesterday? This tape is going to... Is it yesterday? I don't know if it's yesterday. I would say, though, that it's more of like within the last... oh, my God. Not today, Satan!
Not today, Satan.
Well, apparently he is going to be here today, but this is the good Satan. I can't make it up. So this is the Devil card. This is the recent past. These cards are really all over the place in this reading if there was an actual card. So what this card would be telling me is, well, actually, you've broken free of some of your bad habits. You've actually taken advice. You've actually taken the steps to better yourself or to improve the situation because it's upside down. If it were right side up, it'd be like, get out of whatever you're doing. It's not good. That could mean like maybe like a financial planner that was not good for you or somebody doesn't have your best interest. In this case, this is not a bad position, the upside down reversed or the reverse devil. It sounds like a, never mind, I can't say it.
What?
So after the recent past, we're going to near future. Now, again, recent past means recent, maybe within a month, 2, maybe 3 months. Near future, same thing, maybe within a couple weeks, a month, 2, right? So you're not going too far out there. So we've got the Seven of Wands. More wands. There's wands all over the place. What do you want from me? So the Seven of Wands in reverse position, again, not a negative card. In the upright position, it suggests there's quarreling. It suggests there's fighting. It suggests there's not getting along. There's no compromise. It's aggression. It's still butting heads. But in the reverse position, it tells me that you're, like this card, you're learning lessons. You're compromising. You're understanding. So if the two are not aligned on where they're spending money, this card would suggest that in the recent future or the near future, they're going to align on some things and better their situation and make some harmony around the situation. Sorry, my laptop here too, so I can kind of keep myself on track. The things you can't see off camera, right? So does that make sense so far? So a lot of these cards are sort of contradicting each other, but it sounds like these, like if this was an actual couple or this was an actual person and they're talking about the other one, all I would say here is you're almost there. You guys keep tripping each other up, but like something is getting out of line. You just got to sort of keep back to the basics until you get it right. It's kind of like reading a Celtic Cross tarot reading, right? For somebody. Just keep practicing until you get it right. So after the near future, and that's what their near future looks bright, right? So if right, they got to wear shades. You're going to go to the internal the internal influences. The internal influences can really be anything internally. It could be your feelings about something, your emotions about something. It could be your thinking, your head voice. It could be your anxieties. If you're, it's whatever that is. It's just your internal influences. And these are internal influences, meaning like they're guiding you on things that you're doing because they're influencing you, right? Stay, little bitch. I'm just kidding. She is kind of a bitch, though. All right, so the Ace of Swords. I love this card right now. I mean, I just can't put enough tape on here. I love the Ace of Swords right now in the spread because it's kind of apropos. So remember from a video or two ago, what does the Ace always represent? You heard me just say new beginnings, but I knew you knew that on your own. Upside down, though, this is a fear of, or an anxiety of starting over. It could even be a fear of loss and having to start over. It could be a fear of trying something new. It could be a fear of adopting a new way of doing something or adopting a new method, adopting advice from somebody. That's the internal, that's what the thing is, that's the Aquarian's internal influence right now. So maybe making poor decisions is fear of, you know, losing everything. It could even be losing everything and starting all over, right? So I put the tape over this one. This is going to be the external influences. The external influences is the 7. Man, there's a lot of 7s. You see this here? This is what you want to start noticing in these decks. So you see, it's a lot of pentacles and wands, and swords. We haven't had 1 cup yet, by the way. Do you notice that? So there's the 7, both reversed. Only in this one, the reversed has a little bit of a different meaning. So in upright position, that would be kind of a good thing in this spread, because you're sort of thinking more deliberately about money, about choices, about how you're spending, right? But this is right side, or it's upside down. So here you're kind of looking and saying the opposite, like, where does all my money keep going? Where do I keep spending it? Why do I keep making these stupid mistakes, right? So this could mean you're buying that dress, ladies, or you're buying that cologne, men. I mean, anything you want, or you're just spending it on stupid things that are not really going to amount to much or help you in the future, right? So that could mean any one of those. So this one here is going to be the hopes and the fears. Now, can they be both? Yes. Could they be one or the other? Sure. But, you know, let's try and look at the, you know, in here, there's a lot of wiggle room. So let's try and look at the bright side too, not just the dark side, if there's a dark side. Oh, well, look who shows up. Your little, the queen shows up. Your little protege over here, she's giving me some attitude. She's a little attitude. Anyway, the Queen of Wands, and again, more wands, right? So this is the hope. The hope would be that you're going to live the good life, right? The hope would be that you're going to do everything right. You're not royalty necessarily, but you're sitting okay. You've done the right things. This card screams balance. You see the sunflower here. You see the little shoots of flowers that are coming off of the wand. You see the statues over here that's balanced. You see the statues realigned up here as balance. Everything is congruent. Everything, and this can even mean her partner and her husband, or him, or his wife. This could even mean they've aligned, and they've actually made this one where the mission and the outcome was better because they aligned and they're both in agreement. But this is also, fears too, right? So the hope is there, but the fear is that because you see this black hat right there that just screams like superstition. You see a black hat, right? It's superstitious, it's bad luck. That's what their whole thing, their fear out of this would be that they run into some sort of bad luck and they lose everything, right? Those are the hopes and fears. Not uncommon than most people's hopes and fears. So let's take a look at the final outcome. I'm so nervous right now. One, because that queen is right below them. You never know what she's going to do. She's conniving. Oh, we got the Knight of Swords. Now, interesting. I'm just saying interesting. You make of it what you will. Now, 1 cup. The cup is our fulfillment. The cup is our, our emotion. Or it's just amazing that it's all wands and pentacles and swords. So do you see how this sort of aligns? It's just like their own worst enemy. Stop being so afraid. You're going to have to take a few risks, but you're going to have to start doing the right things with money, and everything's going to work out, and you're talented. You know how to do it, right? That could be the easiest reading in the world. The Knight of Swords suggests, though, that in the end, you may find yourself, if you can't get all these things right, that you're going to have to play catch-up. I think the ending is a positive one, but you're going to have to play catch-up. That means putting more away than, in later years than you want to, because you just didn't do it properly before. Or you're going to be aggressively going after anything that will sort of make you money and help your retirement. You're going to be more more vicious about it, I guess is a good word. But it could also mean you're at the end, you're also protecting yourself. You've come to the conclusion that you need to protect your investment, you protect your future, and all that. So you've done it, but it's going to be a wild ride getting there on a fast one and a very sort of valiant one if you can do the right things. I hope this awesome contraption made sense. This is the Celtic Cross, again, used for digging deep into a problem or a situation, and I hope I was able to help you with this fictitious couple without the money problems. But now you sort of see where everything lands, and you can see how like the spread is kind of cool, like where it shows you like the twos, the sevens, like, so that's cool. By the way, my birthday was on the 27th. Well, it still is on the 27th, but not of this month, of February. I don't know why I told you that. I like the 2 and the 7. Anyway, if you like what you see, subscribe. You could also get notifications from when my new videos come out. And you could also comment, and I will answer questions. Please note, too, that I will go over some more spreads just in a future video. I just don't want to make this one too long. But now you know how to do the Celtic Cross. Practice it, use it, take it slowly, and just let the reading come to you. Oh,